Try to get that lined up with the grid perfectly. Going for professionalism here. Close enough. So we are back. Welcome back. Oops, just touched the ink. That's okay. So I'm doing the fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fifth impression on this new print, the Linocut. Just excuse me here for a second while I pull up the stream. It's not working. Come on, here we go. It's not working. I'm having technical difficulties. Hold on. Anyway, so I was up in the Adirondacks for the last 3 days and was doing some rock climbing, and the fall colors up there were amazing. Just trying to pull up this chat here. Here we go. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. All right, here we go. So yeah, I went up to the Adirondacks for a few days. I was gonna go down to West Virginia for a whole week, but it was really warm down there and there was a lot of chance of rain for middle of the week and later end of the week. So rather than driving all the way down to West Virginia like we originally had planned, we just went up to the northern Adirondacks and climbed at 2 different locations near Wilmington or Whiteface. Whiteface is a ski mountain and a high peak. And we were north of that at a place called Potter Mountain. And then we went down to Keene Valley and I climbed at a spot called Hurricane Crag. And then I hurt my back. I kind of pulled my back muscle and I really couldn't climb anymore. And the weather was getting poor. So I ended up coming back to the city and now I'm working back on this print. So here we are today, the 5th impression. Of our reductive linoleum cut. I'm going to send this over to the press. And I have a warmer gray color, slightly warmer gray color on top of our last color, which I'll show you here. This is the last color, slightly darker than the distant mountains there. It's like a cool gray. Let's see what this one looks like. You can see it's more red. So this is a warmer layer on top of the last one. So we have 1, 2, 3 layers now of distant mountains here. This will all be covered with other stuff, but we're just looking at these differences in that distant mountain line. So these are oil-based inks. I'm using Cranfield relief inks. And I have a little bit of transparency in here. So far I've been putting transparency in every layer using some, what's it called here? Some transparent base by Gamblin. That really lets the color that's below come through and affect the color, overall color of the print. So I've been getting like 8 people on these live streams for the extent, the whole video. That's not enough. I didn't ink that one enough. I have to ink that one again. So I only get about 8 to 10 people on these live streams. So I have to kind of, I get about a couple hundred replay watches within the first week or so. So I have to kind of think about these videos as if for people that are watching the replay, and not so much the live stream. So in the beginning, I need to speak more about what I'm doing, the materials I'm using, the process that I'm going through, so they don't click off of it. But yeah, so today we're just printing this color. I have 20 sheets here, and I'll probably run this stream for about 40 minutes. So I just made a mistake. I wasn't paying attention, but I thought I had inked my block, but I didn't. So I have a very faint impression here. So we're going to do this again. Taking this block over to the printing press. That feels better. There we have it. Bringing a little more warmth into this fall sunset scene. I don't have any set color plans for this other than I want these gray warm colors to be coming up towards the foreground, and then the middle ground will be some more saturated darks and colors. I'm being sure to cover this whole, which will be mountain range, just so that there's like a nice base color when I get there. See, when I started the stack last time, I wasn't covering this section, but I decided I need to start. Everyone must be busy today. So as I was saying, I was up in the Adirondacks, northern Adirondacks, and the fall colors are almost peaking already. It's been a very dry fall, and up there it's gotten much cooler at night for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So their season is already almost near its peak. I guess maybe this weekend, for a week or two, will be pretty good up there. I guess if nobody shows up, we don't have anything to talk about too much here, other than we're just gonna keep on going with this color. And this is just a little update on where I am at with this project. I'd like to put the whole process out there for people so they can learn about this craft, this art form. I know I do these streams at the wrong time of day because everyone's at work. It's the middle of the day. Nobody's available to watch this. I should be doing this at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. But that time I'm just not available. It's a little thin over on this side, so I need to put more ink on this side of the block. Actually, that one wasn't a very good impression. I'm just gonna put a little more ink on this block and do it again. It wasn't enough. I'm going for transparency, but this is too transparent. This isn't a solid impression. Better. Still need more ink, but I kind of like the little bit of paper showing through still at this early stage of the print, because this will be coming forward more. So the real important part is this area back here, these three levels of grays overlapping each other. But I do need to use more ink for the next one. So I always test out my colors. From the start of the print, I've been documenting my colors. This is the sky tone, the first impression, second impression. These are some of the grays that I just overlap with my roller. Just see. And I'm just kind of, I'll keep this sheet and I'll just build it out as I go for a reference when I'm mixing my colors. lot of chunky stuff in there. Make sure you keep your palette clean. Man, not a single viewer yet. It's okay. Hopefully some people will watch the replay. The idea behind these live streams are also showing each step of the process. If somebody buys one of these prints, I can refer them to the YouTube live streams and tell them, you know, I number the live streams in chronological order. So I can just refer to them from, you know, live stream 20 to 30 is the making of this print step by step. Which is cool, because then they can see how the print that they bought was made. I have a piece of stuff on my piece of pigment. I mean, you could be really experimental with linoleum. There's endless possibilities. Like if you wanted each print to be a little bit more unique, you could wipe away areas, or you could put, say, a texture. I'll show you like a texture. I'm just going to scrape in a little bit of texture there, just to give you an example. Take this over to the press. It looks like we have one person that just joined us. If you can hear me, just leave a comment below. You're the first person to join the stream, whoever that is. I've been on for 20 minutes and not a single person has chimed in. So as you can see, the little texture I made with my palette knife, you could still see it on the block, but it's in there very clearly. So if you wanted to get experimental and use each print differently, there's a lot of opportunity. So I have a lot of stuff, old chunks of ink on my palette today, because I dipped into the bottom of a white tin and there's all this dried out ink in there, so I'll probably retire the rest of that ink because it's just too messy. When you get to the bottom, it gets kind of, that's why I enjoy the tubes more than the tins of ink. This is the before, and then this red tone is really gonna warm this image up. So we'll do one more, and if nobody shows up today, I'll probably just turn this video off. Yeah, if I want more people to watch this live stream and participate, I have to invite them and let them know beforehand, at least 24-hour notice. The only way that I could do that, I have a newsletter set up, but I haven't been sending anything out yet. But if you're hearing this, please go subscribe to my newsletter and I can inform you when these live streams are happening. Give you a 24-hour notice and then maybe an hour notice beforehand that I'm going live. So if you want to know when I'm doing these streams, I know they're in the middle of the day. It's not convenient for other people, for many people. But you can always watch the replay. You can turn notifications on if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can always watch the replay. I really need to let people know that these are happening. Right now I'm just using it as a way to document the process. You start to see the distance, get a feel for the distance of the scene. This is the 5th impression. There's probably going to be at least 7 to 10 more I'm trying to do 1 impression a day for the next week and a half. After this, we'll do a before and after. I might just send it back. Just sending this through the press. I just sent it through the opposite way that I normally do, and that felt really awkward. So yeah, this is a reductive print. I can't go back, so as I'm working, I'm taking material away. And for this edition, I'm doing 20 sheets. Like, base it off of like the history of sales. When I first started making prints, I was trying to make like 40 or 50 and making tons, but in reality, it takes me a while to sell 20 prints, at least as of right now. So 20 is a good number, because you are going to mess some up along the way. So if I ruin, say, 5 out of 20, I still have an addition of 15 or 14 or whatever. The number doesn't matter to me. And that's a good number. You know, I sell these prints for around $100. So that's a good price range for 15 sold prints. But for the amount of time that goes into this, they should be more expensive, I think. So to answer your question, I'm pulling 20 impressions, or 20 20s for the edition. But you could easily, I like to do at least 20. But if you know it's going to be a really good design, or you're making them for multiple people, if you're making holiday cards or whatever, you can do as many as you'd like. I need to make this impression darker. It's too light. So I have a lot of transparent base in this one. It's very thin. So if I do another thin application here, it should even out. So yeah, you could see how light that was. So we'll do it again on the same sheet. That's better. So we'll do a before and after. So you can see how much warmer this is. So it's really just going to be this distant space here. It's like 73 or 74 degrees outside right now, but the humidity is really high. It's very warm. There's not much wind out there, so I gotta run this through the press. You can see these little carving. I just carved a couple little pieces after the first impression, just to like nick out some highlights in the distance. We'll see how that works. But from a distance, you don't really see it, but when you get closer, you can see. So after this one, I'll probably turn the video off. Thank you, Matt, for joining today, and maybe one other person or two other people. As I was saying earlier, I need to announce when these are happening if I expect more people to join in. And I know I do them in the middle of the day, so I'll try to figure out a way I can do these at night. I have to get some lights set up. Maybe do an evening session. And maybe if this ink dries by tonight, I'll do one tonight. to wait for my son to go to bed first. Make sure the house is quiet. So it would have to be late at night. It would have to be around 9:30. I keep wanting to just pull the impression after I do that. I don't know why. It needs to go through the press. So I'm just talking to myself here. I feel like we should end this now, but thanks for joining me. I'll try to do a couple of these at night. I'm going to try to announce them on Instagram or somewhere for now. But eventually I'll be using my newsletter for that. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Oh, also I'll be sending out a new, the second video of this project where I'm showing how I carve the kentos and I carve around the print. That'll be going out tonight on my channel. So check that out if you want. Have a good one. Next time.